core issue revolves around responsibility and liability related to electrical work, permits, and code compliance. Even if a general contractor is responsible for obtaining and paying for permits, the electrical contractor retains the ultimate responsibility for ensuring that the work performed meets all applicable codes, standards, and regulations, as well as adheres to the plans that the permit was based upon. If the electrical work is not up to code, or does not align with the permitted plans, the electrical contractor will be the one who receives the violation notice and be held accountable for correcting any deficiencies. The electrical contractor cannot solely rely on the general contractor's knowledge or actions regarding electrical work. It is crucial for the electrical contractor to independently verify that all work is performed correctly and complies with all relevant requirements. Focusing on specific scenarios, firstly, consider a situation where the general contractor fails to obtain the necessary permits despite contractual obligations. In this instance, the electrical contractor's liability is heightened. Performing electrical work without a valid permit exposes the electrical contractor to significant risks, including fines, legal action, and potential invalidation of insurance coverage. It is incumbent upon the electrical contractor to confirm the existence of a valid permit before commencing any electrical work. If the general contractor has not obtained the required permits, the electrical contractor should take immediate action to rectify the situation, including notifying the relevant authorities and refusing to proceed with the work until the permits are secured. Secondly, let's examine the scenario where the general contractor pulls a permit, but the work does not adhere to the codes. Even with a permit in place, the electrical contractor is not absolved of responsibility. The electrical inspector will assess the quality and safety of the electrical installation, irrespective of who obtained the permit. If the inspector identifies code violations, the electrical contractor will be held responsible for rectifying them. This underscores the importance of thoroughness, attention to detail, and adherence to best practices throughout the entire electrical installation process. Thirdly, imagine that the general contractor is present during the inspection but does not fully understand the electrical aspect. The general contractor's presence, or lack thereof, during the inspection does not alter the electrical contractor's responsibility for code compliance. The electrical inspector will direct any questions or concerns related to the electrical installation to the electrical contractor. It is essential for the electrical contractor to be present and prepared to answer questions, address concerns, and demonstrate that the work has been performed in accordance with all applicable requirements. Consider different aspects and things to keep in mind. It is important to understand the legal aspect of the relationship between the general contractor and the electrical contractor. Contractual agreements play a vital role in defining the responsibilities and liabilities of each party. However, these agreements do not override the fundamental responsibility of the electrical contractor to ensure code compliance and safety. The contract should clearly outline the scope of work, payment terms, and responsibility for obtaining permits. It should also include clauses that protect the electrical contractor's interests in case of non-compliance by the general contractor. Clear communication and documentation are essential throughout the project. The electrical contractor should maintain detailed records of all work performed, including dates, materials used, and any deviations from the original plans. Any changes or modifications to the electrical design should be documented in writing and approved by all parties involved. In addition to contractual agreements, it is important to understand the relevant building codes and regulations in the specific jurisdiction where the work is being performed. Building codes are constantly evolving, and it is the electrical contractor's responsibility to stay up to date on the latest requirements. Failing to comply with building codes can result in fines, legal action, and potentially dangerous situations. The electrical contractor should actively participate in continuing education programs and professional development opportunities to maintain their knowledge and skills. In conclusion, even if a general contractor is responsible for obtaining permits, the electrical contractor remains ultimately responsible for ensuring that all electrical work is performed in accordance with applicable codes, standards, and regulations. It is crucial for the electrical contractor to independently verify the existence of valid permits, adhere to best practices, and maintain clear communication with all parties involved. By taking these steps, the electrical contractor can minimize their liability and ensure the safety and quality of the electrical installation. As a recap, let's reiterate some core concepts. Firstly, the electrical contractor is responsible for code compliance, regardless of who obtains the permit. Secondly, performing work without a permit carries significant risks. Thirdly, clear communication and documentation are essential. Fourthly, staying up to date on building codes is crucial. And fifthly, prioritizing safety and quality throughout the entire process is paramount. Now let's delve deeper into the practical steps that an electrical contractor can take to mitigate risk and ensure compliance. One important step is to conduct a thorough review of the project plans and specifications before commencing any work. The electrical contractor should carefully examine the electrical design, identify any potential issues or discrepancies, and seek clarification from the architect or engineer if necessary. This proactive approach can help prevent costly errors and delays later in the project. Another crucial step is to conduct regular inspections of the electrical work as it progresses. The electrical contractor should not wait until the final inspection to identify potential problems. By conducting regular inspections, the electrical contractor can catch any errors or deficiencies early on and take corrective action promptly. This can save time and money in the long run and minimize the risk of code violations. The electrical contractor should also maintain a close working relationship with the electrical inspector. The electrical inspector is a valuable resource for information and guidance on code compliance. The electrical contractor should not hesitate to contact the inspector with any questions or concerns. Building a positive relationship with the electrical inspector can help ensure a smooth and successful inspection process. Furthermore, the electrical contractor should ensure that all employees are properly trained and qualified to perform the assigned tasks. The electrical contractor should provide ongoing training and education to employees to keep them up to date on the latest codes, standards, and best practices. Properly trained employees are more likely to perform work correctly and safely, reducing the risk of errors and code violations. Additionally, the electrical contractor should implement a comprehensive safety program. The safety program should include procedures for identifying and mitigating hazards, providing personal protective equipment, and conducting regular safety meetings. A strong safety program can help prevent accidents and injuries on the job site, protecting both employees and the public. The contractor should also carry adequate insurance coverage. Insurance can protect the electrical contractor from financial losses in case of accidents, injuries, or property damage. The electrical contractor should carefully review their insurance policies to ensure that they provide adequate coverage for all potential risks. Beyond the immediate project, consider the broader implications for your business. Maintaining a reputation for quality and compliance is essential for long-term success. Word-of-mouth referrals and positive reviews are invaluable assets for any electrical contractor. By consistently delivering high-quality work and adhering to all applicable codes and standards, the electrical contractor can build a strong reputation and attract new customers. Investing in technology can also improve efficiency and accuracy. Software programs are available to assist with electrical design, estimating, and project management. These tools can help the electrical contractor streamline operations, reduce errors, and improve overall productivity. Continuing to monitor industry trends and emerging technologies is also important. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, and the electrical contractor should stay informed about new products, techniques, and regulations. Attending industry conferences, reading trade publications, and participating in online forums can help the electrical contractor stay ahead of the curve. Remember, proactive measures are always more effective than reactive ones. By taking the necessary steps to mitigate risk, ensure compliance, and maintain a strong reputation, the electrical contractor can protect their business and provide their customers with the highest quality of service. Let's also talk about specific code-related situations and potential problems. Firstly, consider the NEC, National Electrical Code, Section 110.3. This section covers the examination, identification, installation, and use of equipment. The electrical equipment must be suitable for the intended purpose, installed and used in accordance with the instructions included in the listing or labeling, and must not be damaged or impaired. Any modification or alteration to listed equipment without the manufacturer's authorization voids the listing and can create a safety hazard. Secondly, NEC Section 210.8 covers ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, protection for personnel. GFCI protection is required in specific locations such as bathrooms, kitchens, garages, and outdoor areas to protect against electrical shock hazards. The electrical contractor must ensure that GFCI protection is provided in all required locations and that the devices are properly installed and functioning. Thirdly, NEC Section 250.50 addresses grounding electrode system installation. A properly installed grounding electrode system is essential for providing a safe path for fault current to return to the source. The electrical contractor must ensure that the grounding electrode system is installed in accordance with the NEC and that all connections are properly made. Improper grounding can create a serious shock hazard. Fourthly, NEC Section 300.4 deals with protection against physical damage. Electrical wiring and equipment must be protected from physical damage to prevent short circuits, ground faults, and other hazards. The electrical contractor must use appropriate methods for protecting wiring and equipment such as conduit, raceways, and enclosures. Fifthly, NEC Section 310.15 addresses ampacity of conductors. The ampacity of conductors must be sufficient to carry the intended load without overheating. The electrical contractor must calculate the load and select conductors with an appropriate ampacity rating based on the NEC tables and rating factors. Overloaded conductors can overheat and cause a fire. Sixthly, consider bonding and grounding for things like pools and spas. These present unique shock hazards because of the presence of water. Equipotential bonding and proper grounding are crucial to minimize the risk of electric shock. Make sure all metallic parts are properly bonded and grounded according to NEC Article 680. Consider the impact of improper wiring methods, such as using the wrong type of cable for the application, making improper connections, or failing to support cables properly. Improper wiring methods can create a variety of hazards, including short circuits, ground faults, and fires. The electrical contractor must use appropriate wiring methods and follow all applicable codes and standards. And also, think about the effects of failing to follow manufacturer's instructions for equipment installation. All electrical equipment comes with manufacturer's instructions that must be followed carefully. Failing to follow these instructions can void the warranty and create a safety hazard. The electrical contractor should read and understand the manufacturer's instructions before installing any equipment. As a reminder, always prioritize safety, quality, and compliance throughout the entire electrical installation process. By following the tips and guidelines outlined above, the electrical contractor can minimize their liability, protect their business, and provide their customers with safe and reliable electrical services.